I've got to be honest, I don't feel like talking about hockey tonight because the Blue Jays win, heading to the ALCS. Go Jays, go! The Jays win 5-2 over the New York Yankees, the New York Stankies. Screw you, Yankees, hitting our players in the back when you guys know you're going to lose this game. You guys suck. On that note, though, hey everybody, welcome back to Kicking with Kipes. I'm Kipes, and today there are 4 games on the NHL schedule. Let's go through them nice and quick, because who wants to talk about hockey when Toronto has a team going to the semifinals of their sport? It doesn't happen very often, folks, but the Blue Jays and Davis Schneider, they are on their way to doing just that. Well, the Leafs, they were showing the Blue Jays game in the arena, and the Leafs, they also win 5-2 tonight. The Toronto team's winning 5-2 in their respective games against divisional rivals to put a stamp on their respective seasons. The Leafs, it's their first game. It wasn't a stamp on their division. Anywho, Stolarz gets the win for the Leafs. Montembeault gets the loss for the Montreal Canadiens. Bobby McMann scores the first goal of the Leafs season, putting a puck, deflecting it out in front. Oliver Kapanen for the Montreal Canadiens, he gets his first career NHL goal. Congratulations to you, Oliver Kapanen. I honestly do not know the relationship, if he's related to the captain, that former Leaf and now current Edmonton Oiler. I don't know what the relationship is there. Zach Bolduc also scored in this game for the Montreal Canadiens. His first game as a Montreal Canadian. He gets on the board nice and early for the Montreal Canadiens. So that is 2 depth options for the Montreal Canadiens getting on the board for the Habs early in this season. That is very important for them if they want to make a playoff run this year. I have them kind of on the fence a little bit on this season. I don't know if they're going to make the playoffs, but if they are to make the playoffs this season, it's going to be because of depth scoring. They're big players like Nick Suzuki, Cole Caulfield. They need to come up huge for a return to the playoffs. An unpredictable goal scorer for the Toronto Maple Leafs today, because the Leafs were down 2-1 in this game because of that Bolduc goal. Bolduc? I don't know. I don't care. Calle Youngkroak, he scores in this game. He was predicted to go on waivers potentially at the beginning of this season, so it is such good news to see him getting on the board. Morgan Riley, I'm looking to him to have a much, much, much better season for the Toronto Maple Leafs this year. I am giving him the new dad tax for last season. Maybe he was overly tired last year, couldn't focus too much on the game, but this year is a huge year for Morgan Riley, and he gets on the board with a nice goal to put the Leafs ahead 3-2 in the third period. And then Austin Matthews, he scores an empty netter, as well as William Nylander. So big players on the Leafs getting on the board, nice and early in this game and in this season, where it's a huge season for the Maple Leafs as if they want to make any run in the playoffs. Moving right along, we got the Boston Bruins taking on the Washington Capitals in both of their first games of the season. The Bruins, who don't have much hopes or expectations. I know internally they probably have expectations to make the playoffs and do great things, but externally in the media or people just talking hockey talk, there's not a lot of expectations from the Boston Bruins this year. But if they are to make any noise this year, they need players like Pasternak to score. They need players like a heavily and heftily paid Elias Lindholm to score. They also need a top line forward like Morgan Geekie to score. And all 3 did in this game, giving the Boston Bruins a 3-1 victory over the Washington Capitals. The Capitals, they were a playoff team last year. They beat the Montreal Canadiens in the first round of the playoffs. Don't start off great in their first game of the season. It is the first game of the season. We have to be very careful in what we say because things can change very easily and very quickly. A lot of rosters are still trying to be constructed. So it's hard to determine what the teams are going to look like, but you always want to start off the season with a win, and the Washington Capitals were not able to do that. What's his name? Tom Wilson. He scored the one and only goal for the Capitals in this game. Logan Thompson got the loss in this game. Jeremy Swayman got the win for the Bruins in this game as they win 3-1. And yeah, the Bruins get 2 points quick on the board, and this is exactly what they need for brand new head coach behind the bench. Well, here I was about to talk about how there haven't been any overtime games, any shootout games, and the last 2 games of tonight's schedule, the LA Kings and the Vegas Golden Knights game, and the Calgary Flames and Edmonton Oilers game, both went into overtime and both went into a shootout. So let's talk about it nice and quickly. The Kings win against the Vegas Golden Knights, 6-5 in a shootout. It was a wild game. The Kings were up 2 goals, and then boom, the Golden Knights came back storming. Dorofeyev getting a hat trick in the first game of the season for the Golden Knights. Adin Hill picking up the first loss of the Golden Knights season. Anton Forsberg picking up the win to make the Kings with a 1-1 record coming out of the gates. Former Calgary Flame Kuzmenko gets 1 goal in this game. Quinton Byfield starts his campaign with a goal in this game as well. Malat, I don't know too much about this guy. I think this was his NHL debut as well, so he gets a goal in this one, and that is not the first time we're going to talk about a debut goal in the NHL tonight. So, Jack Eichel, he also picks up a goal in this game. Mitch Marner picks up an assist on Eichel's goal, his first point as a Vegas Golden Knight. It is so weird to say that out loud, but it is a fact, Jack, and here we are. Barbashev also picks up a goal in this game. Brant Clark, the defenseman for the LA Kings. For some reason, I thought he went to Ottawa, but it was Bernard Docker, so I don't know what the heck I was thinking in that one. Trevor Moore, he, like I just said, he picked up a goal in this game as well and got the shootout winner for the Kings. As my former coworker just said, he's about to commit a war crime. So it is not a good way to start the season for the Edmonton Oilers. They choke and they give up a 3-0 lead against the Calgary Flames. Nugent Hopkins, Andrew Mangiapane, and Leon Draisaitl all had scored for the Edmonton Oilers by the time that Matt Gridden, the guy who went into camp hoping to make the team, he did make the team on the Calgary Flames, and he scores a wild and crappy goal for the Oilers to concede. Gridden, he looked like he was just trying to put the puck in front of the net, and it bounced off, I think, 2, maybe 3 players of the Edmonton Oilers defenseman into the back of the net, past Stuart Skinner, and it was his first career NHL goal. Congratulations to you, Matt Vey. Well-deserved, well-earned, and it looks like if you keep this up, you're going to stay with the big club. Connor Zary also picks up a controversial goal. It looked like it was high sticking. He batted it out of midair, and it went into the back of the net on the power play, but it ended up being that Connor Zary did not commit a crime. So, what I, in my head, picture is that the refs called it a goal on the ice, and there was not enough evidence to overturn the call. If they had called it a no goal on the ice, I honestly and truly think that it would have been stayed as a no goal because there was not enough evidence to prove that it was a good goal. So that's just food for thought. In the early stages of the third period, Stuart Skinner has the puck. He makes a stupid mistake, as he is becoming known to do. And Blake Coleman is right there, pokes it right past Stuart Skinner. Tie game, which leads us into overtime, where lots of back and forth, very entertaining hockey in overtime. Connor McDavid off his stupidly good contract. And yeah, too bad, so sad. The 8th round of the shootout, Nazem Kadri scores a beautiful backhand goal over the shoulder of Stuart Skinner, and it goes into the back of the net. The Flames win with my new best friend, Dustin Wolf. Yes, I got to meet him. He was a very nice guy. I was the last man that they let into Teamtown Sports at Market Mall. And man, what a good guy. He knows about the show, so that doesn't mean anything, if we're being completely honest. But that is what happened in this game. Dustin Wolf picked up the win. Stuart Skinner picked up the loss as the Calgary Flames, as they did all last season in their grinding season where they almost made the playoffs. They came back in incredible fashion, down 3 goals to win 4-3 in a shootout. That is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. If you liked it, hit like. If you liked it even more and you want to see more, hit subscribe. Please do it. It means the absolute world to me. Thank you so much for watching, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.